for the Pies, Tony Shaw and Lee Matthews. 1990 it was. Nick Maxwell will have the opportunity to emulate those deeds as the captain of the Magpies. He's with us on the couch. Welcome, Nick, and congratulations on getting there.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I guess the biggest issue for all in the Magpie side right now is grand final tickets. You haven't got any spares, have you?
Tell you what, mate, if I find something, I'll call you, but I think it's tough for all the players at this time of year, but it's a good problem to have, I guess.
What's your allocation, Nick?
We get... Every AFL player got to buy two earlier in the season, so most did that, and then you get two and then you can buy two more, basically, so about half a dozen. So when you got family and friends and partners, it squeezes out pretty quick.
You would have been, what, 5 or 6 when Tony Shaw lifted the cup?
7. 7, yep. So
can you remember it?
No, I can't. I've never actually watched the full game, to be honest. I've watched a lot of different parts of it, and it's just... You see that footage there, and it's obviously something that you dream about and something we hope will be happening in 5 days' time.
Were you a Geelong boy then?
I was, yeah. But I backed for Hawthorn growing up, so yeah.
You talk about, read something, it was in the paper the other week about, you said that you weren't going to be able to dream about the grand final, winning a premiership till you got to this week. Yep. Have you allowed yourself now to dream about the possibility of being a premiership captain for the Collingwood Football Club? Yeah,
I did. I suppose on Sunday I sort of spent a bit of time because we didn't have any training, I had no commitments, so I sort of had a good of a think about it. But pretty quickly today comes around, you start thinking about training today, then we've got training again tomorrow morning and Wednesday, so straight away everything gets swept away and taken away from you. So I think as a team it was good to see after the game the guys weren't over the top excited. They know we've still got a job to do and that all we've done is give ourselves every chance of achieving what we set out to achieve at the start of the year.
But you made your intentions pretty clear early in the season. You were quoted in the Herald Sun on March 18th as saying that you were here for the serious stuff. I know you can get criticised from different people for saying as a club and as a team we want to win a premiership, but that's what we're saying, and I don't think we are that far away. We've been proved darn correct.
Yeah, well, I think that at times you can set your goals too low and you've got a bit of a cop-out and you can sort of get your way out of it.
Yeah.
Just go, oh, well, we were close, we finished top 4, but we weren't satisfied we finished top 4 again. We've done that twice our last 3 years and then lost the semi-final as well, and we were just desperate to go that step further, so good to see we're on the right track at the moment.
Nick, let me ask you about another Herald Sun story that appeared last Friday under Mark Robinson's byline. A very good interview with you and your family. What did you think when you picked the paper up and there was the back page story that said, this is from your dad, I'd still love to this day, see Nick holding up the cup. And if he did, I'd take a photo and post it to all those who doubted him, brackets including Mark Thompson.
Yeah, I think that obviously everyone wants to make a big story out of it, but for Dad, he'd been asked about me growing up and I suppose the setbacks we'd had as a family because they ride the wave with you, and I'd sort of been knocked back from 4, 5, 6 clubs at different times over 2 years, and for him and Mum obviously pretty devastated because I was so shattered when it came to the point where Geelong weren't interested in me, and we basically thought that was it as a family. So for him to see, I guess, me finally get a chance and how hard I've had to work to establish myself at the level, obviously he'd take great pride in that, and I guess I would be the same. It'd just be great to actually show people, look, I got doubted by a lot of people, but this is something we've been able to achieve.
The Swans had the Bloods, I think the Saints have got the Saints footy. The Collingwood system and pressure is, I think, the best we've ever seen. Have you got a name for it, and how's it come about to be so good?
Basically, our name's side by side. It's just, I mean, it's in our song, obviously, so people are going to think that that's where we've stolen it from, but it's just everything we do, we want to do it side by side. We want to make sure that we outnumber, we want to make sure we work together, we want to make sure that we never leave one of our teammates one out to do a job by himself, so side by side's been our motto for a couple of years now.
How do you get by yourself so much then? Every week we talk about this. No one will leave Maxwell alone this week because of what he did last week, and yet it happens week after week.
I think you learn from the best players out there, and I've watched a lot of backmen over the last couple of years. Obviously I watched Hodgie closely in 2008 and 2009 and watched how he played at half back, and really when a player goes to an area where he's not going to be used and he's not going to be I suppose a problem for our team, then I'm going to leave him there. I'm going to let him go, and I'm going to work back and help my teammates, particularly when I've got a couple of young key defenders.
And you're only able to do that, though, with the pressure up the field, aren't you? Like the
Yeah, of
pressure
course.
that,
And a lot of people will say, oh, well, that's how you want to play, but that's how I play within the rules of our game plan. So I play the way my coach wants me to play. And I mean, it'd be a hell of a lot easier just to follow someone around and watch their back and just follow that one player for a whole game. But the way I play is the role I'm given.
We've spoken at length on the program from about round 5 on, I think, about your forward pressure. It's taken what St Kilda did last year to a new height. And if you look at the forward half turnovers, they've just become so much more important in football. From you leading the way in 2007, it's grown exponentially up nearly 50% to where you are at the present time.
Yeah, it is, and I think that what Mick's done as a coach and his coaching panel, I guess, is to give guys roles. So we don't expect Jared Blair as a young guy to come into the team and kick 5 goals or have 30 possessions. We expect him to come in and have 1 or 2 tackles a quarter. We expect him to chase and work hard and to set up and play within the structures and the way we want to play. So I think that's also good for guys like Beams and Sidebottom, where people are going to put a lot more time in them because they're such talented young guys. But we don't need them to be kicking bags of goals. If they go out there, they put on the pressure, they get a couple of tackles a quarter, then we're more than happy with their performance.
With 10 minutes to go in the grand final, your scores are level. Clokey gets the ball 40 metres out. Do you go and tap him on the shorts and say, you'll kick this one? What do you say to a guy who's a brilliant player, great endurance, great mark, his kicking has been under pressure, to make sure he's concentrating on the task ahead?
Probably take his mind off the kicking at the task ahead and what he's doing. Maybe mention something else about something completely different so that he just doesn't think about it and just goes and kicks it, because field kicking, for a lot of our guys, they're outstanding at it, and at times when you get in front of the big sticks, guys, I suppose, change their routine and try something different. But I'm very impressed with the way the guys kicked on the weekend, and I'm sure they'll be taking that into this week.
Does it worry you at all going into the game?
No, not really. I just know it's going to turn. I know how hard they're working. I know how much effort they're putting into it, and I know how desperately they want to do it. So I know it'll turn.
Tell me how you felt though when he took aim. He set shot early on Friday night and nailed it. You remember
after the big mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think every one of us, we just lifted everyone. And I mean, he covers so much ground as well, and he cops so many hits. A lot of his marks are contested. He leads our contested marks by an absolute mile, and I think that the pressure that we put him under, because he's always running, so because of his fitness, how many bumps he gets, we put him under the pump a lot, and then he has to try and kick goals at the end of them. So we love him, and he's a very valuable player to our
He'll
team.
love you for that explanation.
Now, I know you wouldn't lie to us. You're a very honest bloke. Luke Ball play or not play?
He will.
He will play. So what was it? I mean, you get cramps, but it must have been a bad cramp.
Well, I mean, the first time I saw that footage was yesterday of him actually standing up and straight-legged, and I thought, what's going on here? Because it did look strange from where I was, but he's maintained that that's all it was, and I saw him moving around fine today, so just try and keep him out of this game.
Nick, 95,000 Friday night, and your average is about mid-60, 65,000. Yep. How important is that for a young group? You've got 7 blokes who haven't played 50 games. It must fast-track their maturity, does it?
I think it definitely does, yeah. I think we saw Fremantle come out after the game against Geelong and say our young guys need to be put on the MCG more. They need to actually have that experience. Our guys get it every second week, or probably better than that. It's better than every second week. I think we play 16 or something games.
You do.
We're very lucky, but I think that it's great for them. They get that experience, and it's got to hold them in good stead at this time of year.
Is there any doubt in your mind that you'll win on Saturday?
No.
It's amazing, isn't it? Just listening to you and watching you, the sense of self-assurance, which is great.
Yep.
Does that come from? It must come from the great team ethos you've got, is it?
Oh, it is. It's just the confidence that Mick instills in his players, and I think that, I mean, just like Geelong years gone by, and St Kilda, I suppose, as well. They've known that if they all play their role and do the job, they're going to win the game, and that's just the same thing. We just expect guys to go out there and play their role.
What about if you get the call to go on to number 12, the big blondie from St Kilda?
I'm sure I'll be on him at some stage. I'm not sure whether it'll be for the full game, but just another challenge and another job to do. So,
big challenge.
Yeah, I've played on him before. He's, in my eyes, he's the best player in the league, or the most valuable player in the league. So obviously we'll put a bit of time into him, and hopefully we can shut him down.
Is there anyone in the competition that can run with Nick Rewalt for 4 quarters?
Probably not. No, probably not. The way that he plays, if you covered the same distance he did in the same amount of time, probably not. But there's also different ways that you can play him, which we'll look at for this weekend.
Nick, I know you've got responsibilities at the Brownlow. Counting starts in about 30 minutes' time. We do appreciate you coming in, and good luck for whatever happens over the next few days.
Thanks very much. Thanks for
Good luck
having
from
me.
all of us, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And have you got any spare tickets? I'll see you
Give me a
afterwards.
call.
Rodney Eade, coach of the Western Bulldogs. He's going to join us straight after this on the couch.